Hi everyone, I am Mr. Ward welcoming you back to our virtual music lab. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the piano and the notes of the piano, how we find notes on the piano, and we're going to look at the different names that we have for these notes, right? So let's get started. So the piano is made up of white and black notes. As we remember, our musical alphabet contains the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, the first seven letters of our English alphabet. Now, the piano has white and black notes. The white notes on the keyboard just run right after the other. However, the black notes are grouped in twos and threes. We have the seven notes of the musical alphabet. Each of these notes can be altered. To alter them, we use three different symbols. We use the sharp, the flat, and the natural signs. The sharp sign looks like a hashtag. So when you post something on Facebook or Instagram or any other social media platform, you would usually put the sharp sign or the number sign before it to hashtag something. But in music, we use it to sharpen a pitch which raises it by one semitone. Now, a flat does the opposite of the sharp. So the sharp raises it by one semitone, the flat lowers it by one semitone. Natural signs are used to cancel sharps or flats. So in music, we have three symbols that we use to alter these notes that we have. So we know that we have the seven pitches of the musical alphabet. Now we can alter these notes using three symbols. The sharp sign, which raises a note by a semitone. So it is raised in pitch. Now it looks like a hashtag, but it represents a sharp, right? The flat sign, which looks like a kind of a B, a oblong kind of looking B, flattens a note. It lowers it by a semitone. So it will go which goes down in pitch. I hope that you can hear that the sound is going lower. Right? The natural sign cancels sharps and flats. So what we use the natural signs for is to cancel sharps or flats that has been added to a piece of music, right? The black notes on the piano are grouped in twos and threes, and we use this to find pitches. So once we can identify where the groups of twos and threes are, we can use that to our advantage so that we can find where C is. And we use C because it's the easiest one to find. So to the left of every two black notes, we would have a white key, and that white key is C. So given that we have seven letters in the musical alphabet, after C, we know that we should have D, then E, then F, then G, then after G, we don't say H, but we go back to A, because G is the end of our musical alphabet, right? So, and once we start A, we continue on to B, C, D, and on and on and on. Now that we have identified the white notes on the keyboard, we can look at the groups of black notes. We know that we have groups of twos and groups of threes in between some of the white keys. Now, the black notes get their names from the white keys. Earlier, we spoke about sharps and flats. When we have a black note coming after the pitch C on the keyboard, as we do here, that indicates that it is a sharpened C. So that black note would simply be a C sharp. However, if we notice there's another white note surrounding the black note, so there's a white note before which was C, and there's a white note after which is D. So, given the symbols that we know, when we raised the C, it became C sharp. If we go back from D, it should be correct. It should be D flat because the note is now lowered. Now, notice that the black note has two different names when it's playing the same pitch. In English, we call these synonyms, words that have different names but the same meaning. For example, we can say that the COVID-19 pandemic has been awful, or the COVID-19 pandemic has been terrible. Awful and terrible are synonyms, they mean the same thing, right? So the black keys on the keyboard or the piano are all synonyms. They all have dual names that they can use depending on the situation that they are in. So in English we call these synonyms, but in music we call them the enharmonic equivalent. So the enharmonic equivalent is one sound but different names. So they pitch the same sound but they have different names. Now we know that sharps and flats raise a note by a semitone or a half step. What exactly is a semitone or a half step? They are the shortest space that we are allowed to move between pitches. So it is the shortest distance between two pitches. So a semitone is the shortest distance between two pitches, or one step, right? On the piano, it is one step. A tone is made up of two semitones, or two steps. So a tone has two steps, a semitone has one step.